Hey sightseers, we made it. There was a couple of spots that were a little bit hairy considering how much rain we've gotten and the fact that these roads are dirt. Looked a little muddy. Wasn't sure that my little Japanese vehicle would get through, but it did. No problem. So kind of excited. This is Horseshoe Falls. Never been here before and excited to see what it's all about, what we got for a waterfall. Time to deed up, just because still in tick season and I'm on a 0 for 0 record with the ticks. So Marty, on the other hand, seems to attract them. Last time we were out, he had 3 of them on him. Ironically, no horses are allowed at Horseshoe Falls. Like, that's kind of funny. But I suppose you never know. There was probably equestrians. Equestrians? Is that the proper pronunciation? Horse lovers around here, and so they may very well want to bring their horses down to the falls, but not in this place. Not allowed. They might get their horseshoes stuck. Who knows? Yeah, that's a lame joke. Just kidding. One thing I noticed right off the bat is the path has this really nice gravel laid down, so you don't have to worry about tripping over anything. It's really nice. Somebody must have did this recently because it doesn't look like it's washed out. Today's like perfect. Thought it was going to be a crappy day according to the weather. We were supposed to have storms all afternoon and it was supposed to be a lot colder. And yet, it ended up being beautiful. Sun's out now. We've got blue skies with the puffy white clouds. And it's not that cold. I'm surprised. I'm actually comfortable with a tank top on and my capri leggings. I think it's in the 70s. Low 70s. So, a lot nicer than what the weatherman had forecasted originally. So it turned out to be a perfect day to come down here at the falls and check it out. I feel like you can see a lot of pine trees in this forest along with some maple growing there, and right up here too, up in front of me is some maple growing. And then I'm not sure if this is like aspen or what that is. And then possibly some birch in here. That's real green, real lush. It's like the best part about being out in the forest is how green it gets in summer, spring, summer. In fall it's beautiful when the trees turn colors, but after that and everything dies, it's just, to me, not quite as beautiful as it is this time of year. But of course you can hear the birds in the background chattering, chirping to each other. In case you didn't know which direction the falls are, somebody left an arrow. I guess you would call that chainsaw art. Just what I thought. There is a birch tree in here. This one is quite tall. It goes all the way up. Up, up, up. Way up before you see its leaves up there in the sky. But if you look, apparently people have been using it to carve their initials, let people know that they were here at this birch tree over by Horseshoe Falls. Looks like LB D+S. I don't know, a few others carved their names in here. I'm not going to do that though. I don't particularly care to carve up something of nature to let people know I was here. If it was something more like, I don't know, a structure, maybe I would leave my name, leave my sticker, but not a tree.
It's like the woodpeckers had a field day with this tree.
Yeah, maybe they're making a motel or hotel for woodpeckers in there.
Here's another pine tree. This tree is probably one of the lucky ones that wasn't logged off and used for building Chicago. All the forests up here were logged off for building Chicago. That's a big pine tree. You don't normally see them that big.
Yeah, that's a big old tree. I didn't even pan all the way up to it. Up to the top.
It's tall.
If you look, you can see more birch. This birch is down on the ground. Obviously, it must have died probably from some disease. And if you look, there's more birch standing in the background. So, I guess I called that right when I said that there was probably birch in this forest. I better hurry up and catch up to Marty. He's probably already down at the falls. What's nice is that the path is real wide and it's not real brushy, so you don't really have to worry too much about ticks, I would think, out in this forest, but you never know. You always want to be safe and put the DEET on when you're out in the middle of tick season. Right, Marty?
Yep.
Mr. Tick Magnet. Oh wow, it smells so good in here. It's like this spicy, woodsy scent. Wish I could share it with you through smell-o-vision, but I can't. But just think of like a woodsy, cedary, spicy, like cinnamony, peppery type smell. And that's what it smells like out here. If you look here, you can see where all the roots from the trees have kind of come across the path that leads down to the falls, and have just kind of overtaken the pathway itself. It kind of reminds me of something you would see like in the Hobbit movies. Well, it looks like because it just rained, it's all muddy and mucky. So we're gonna see how I can pick my way across without sinking down in the mud. Should be interesting. Looks like Marty's footprints. Looks like he sunk in pretty deep. Did you get all muddy going down through there? Well, he says the key is to go along the side and not down the middle. Looks like somebody else must have went down the middle. I bet you their floor mats in their car are all muddy now. Now if you look just beyond the light stream, yeah, the sunlight's streaming through into my camera. If you look beyond that, you can see the falls right there. So it looks like from here, the path just drops off right into the falls. Pretty sure that's not the case. We'll find out when we get up closer. Oh wow, check this out. The path leads like straight to the falls. Like where Marty's walking, if you look down, the falls are right there. This is so cool. So it's pretty much just as I thought, where the path just goes right up to and drops off at the edge of the falls here. We make our way down carefully. I get you up right up close, making sure I don't slip, fall in. Because obviously with the way the water is, and I did just slip. I didn't fall in though, thankfully, but I slipped, fell on my bum. Well, now that I fell, slipped and fell, which is exactly what I did not want to do, I think I'm going to maintain a healthy distance away from the edge, because what I was originally going to do was crawl out on that rock there, but considering how slippery the dirt was just walking down here, there's water on that rock. I'm not chancing it. Not like I got real muddy or anything. You know, a little bit of dirt never hurt anybody, but that kind of caught me off guard. And I'm sure if Marty saw it, he'd be freaking out, because he always gets worried. He knows I'm kind of klutzy. It's just one of them things that I've been cursed with all my life, and so he gets worried whenever I get near any kind of ledge, edge, or water source that's running rapid like that, because he's afraid I'm going to get hurt. And I don't blame him. I mean, I always get real nervous when he's climbing up on the roof of the RV or stuff like that. Not that I'm, you know, a scaredy cat or anything. It's just when you're doing stuff that you don't have like the adequate equipment for, you really have to be careful. That's just something that's ingrained in me from all the years of working in nuclear, is that you want to make sure you have the right equipment. So that means if you're up high, you should have fall protection, and, well, I guess if you're by a rapids, you want to have some kind of protection to avoid drowning. So, I don't know. Kind of hard to take the nuclear out of the girl, I guess. I think it's important to have a healthy respect for nature and its forces. I think oftentimes people head out into the wild or into the woods, the wilderness, without giving a whole lot of thought as to what could happen to them. And I'm not saying that to like freak people out or put fear in people, but when you're out exploring, you need to keep those things in mind, that there's always a possibility that something could go wrong. So you want to make sure you're adequately prepared. Oh, if that's, again, the nuclear in me or just how I was raised or what. But I'm not one of those people that's just going to do something foolish to get the perfect picture for Instagram, YouTube, or whatever, just because it's like my life isn't... risking my life isn't worth one picture or one video. And so sometimes you see, you know, in the news about how somebody is trying to get this view for an Instagram or a YouTube video and ended up dying because of it. And it's like, I just shake my head and I think to myself, was that really worth it? Yeah, you got your fame, your 5 seconds of fame, but now you're dead and you'll never know. Anyways, those are my thoughts. As I'm sitting here looking out over this stream, that's what's bubbling up in my mind. Alright, now that you had your fill of philosophical musings by Sightseeing Sally, I'm going to carefully pick my way up and around so I can get a better view of the place, different vantage point, and see if I can find Marty, because obviously he's lurking around here somewhere. I just don't know exactly where he's at. And I don't want to do a repeat and take another spill, so I think I'm going to set the camera down for this and make my way up. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't look up any history on this place. Basically, I'd seen it when I was looking up some other stuff, and thought, oh, this is one of those places we gotta check out one of these days. And so today, it just happened to be spur of the moment that we decided to go. So I don't know specifically anything about this place other than it's called Horseshoe Falls. I'm assuming the reason they call it Horseshoe Falls is because the falls themselves are shaped somewhat in a horseshoe-like configuration, and so that's how it got its name. But other than that, your guess is as good as mine. I'm up at the top of the falls, and you can see how fast the water is moving from up here. And you can also see the shape of the falls as to why it's called Horseshoe Falls, because it just kind of loops around in the shape of a horseshoe. Man, look at that water just go. But isn't that just crazy? Wow. Total cray-cray. I'm telling you, that's definitely not a stream you want to fall into. Definitely not. You don't know how many boulders are underneath there, and you can kind of see the water is just clear enough that you can kind of see the rocks that are down there, and yeah, definitely some head knockers in that water. I wanted to point out for you the quartz veins that we've seen, and that would be a good indicator that there's probably gold in this stream. So it's too bad that it's like violently raging right now, because this would probably make the perfect place to do some panning. Some more quartz veins right here, right there, right here. Yeah, I bet you any money this stream has gold in it. And I wish it wasn't running so fast. I would love to get out there and do some panning. Check this out. That's foam. That's from the water being so turbulent that's causing foam to create and collect here on the side. Is that just crazy or what? Oh wow, you guys, you gotta check this out. I just stumbled upon this by accident. Just being nosy to see where this path went. I don't know if you can tell from the lighting, I'll have to get in closer, but there's a whole bunch of those cairns, rock cairns that somebody has stacked up here in this area, this section of the forest. Marty down there, you can point out some of them. But there's a really cool, that's not something you typically see out here in the woods. Somebody did it. I don't know how you feel about those rock cairns. Some people feel that those are what? They interfere with the natural landscape. So they really don't like it when people stack rocks like that. I don't know. I mean, I can get their point. I can see their point. But it's also, in a way, kind of a neat way to showcase the rocks, or to create like a natural artwork display using the rocks. And so, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool to see it out here. Again, that's just my opinion. You might have a different opinion, and if you do, that's fine by me. No skin off my back. And you know what they say about opinions? They're like buttholes. Everybody's got one. Hey! Yeah, I said the word butt.
And here's a big granite vein. If you look closely, you can, or a quartz vein. You can see it run right through here. This is all quartz in here. All down here, this is all quartz. It's just dirty over the years. There's another vein over here. There's veins everywhere in these rocks.
So the question I have is, if you split one of them quartz veins or one of these rocks, would you find gold in there?
Possibly, because you have gold in Wisconsin. It had to come from somewhere, you know. I highly doubt you'll find anything of any value, but it's possible.
You can actually see, if you look up here close, quartz crystals kind of materializing off the face of this rock.
Yeah, all in here. It's just dirty. It's all quartz crystal. This rock is all quartz here too. Same thing.
And not to mention loads of mosquitoes. They seem to be swarming us all of a sudden.
Yeah, get out of here.
Special thanks goes out to all our fellow sightseers here on Patreon and PayPal. Without you, these videos wouldn't be possible. So I just had my first bear sighting since we've been living up here in the North Woods. Dang it, I didn't get it on video though. It was like we came around and spooked him and he ran right across the road and into the woods, and by the time we parked, I got my camera out and looked, he was gone. But you can still see his paw prints and you can smell him. It's kind of a musky smell. Not real bad, but I'll show you the paw prints. This is just so cool. But dang it, I wish I would have gotten it on camera. So these are his paw prints. You can see it's a smaller bear. This one,
yeah, you can see his foot was like that. His claws, back part of his pad.
he looked kind of like I mean, he was skinny looking. Kind of looked like a black panther running off into the woods, but it was definitely a bear. And you could see these are his other paw prints, but they're not as good as the other prints. Oh, Marty found a snake. Let's go check it out. It's a little guy. I'm pretty sure he's non-poisonous because I think I've looked them up before.
Get out of the road.
Yeah, so he doesn't get squashed.
I can smell that bear yet. It stinks.
Wouldn't it be cool if he was sitting there watching us and we could get him on film?
He's off the road now. He's good.
Alright.
Leave him alone so he can be in the sun.
Bye, Mr. Snake. Yeah, I'm just gonna film pointing my camera in the direction the bear went, just in case. I see something moving over there. There's just a leaf. Maybe he is over there behind that tree, watching me. Yeah. If he is, he hasn't come out to scare me, so. Oh, that was just so cool. So you can see we're way the heck out here in the middle of nowhere. There's no cell signal. This is what life is like up here in the North Woods. You can get to these far away from civilization places, and it's just really awesome. Oh man, I just wish we had gotten that bear on camera. Next time, that's my goal. My goal is to get bear for you on film with me behind the camera. I mean, yeah, I can set up the trail cam and get a bear on it, I'm sure, but for me to be behind the camera, that's my goal. Mark my words, one of these days, we'll get a bear on film.